going on, everybody? C4 here. Welcome back to the channel, and today we are here for episode 10 of our Madden 21 Detroit Lions franchise. We're on a 3-day streak. 3 days ago, we dropped the regular season finale. Yesterday, we did the entirety of free agency, and today we are doing the draft. And I left yesterday's video, and the reason why I'm splitting up the offseason into two parts is because really I let you guys not necessarily influence, but very much value your opinion and suggestions on how we should have approached free agency. A lot of you guys agree with me. Top target, spend our somewhat limited funds going out, getting Fred Warner. And while a lot of people also wanted me to grab Wyatt Teller at right guard, that just wasn't financially possible. But we were able to land Fred Warner, so we now have a brand new superstar X Factor anchoring the middle of this defense. We are also able to add Mo Hurst at defensive line, which is bringing back a channel legend. We got Josh Jackson, a guy that was very highly touted coming out of college. He's going to have an opportunity to make some plays for us here in our secondary. We've got Troy Apke, White Lightning, depth safety, going to be really, really nice for us on special teams. Speaking of special teams, we got probably the most famous kicker we've had on the channel, and Rodrigo Blankenship. I'm going to have to go find that Simpsons soundbite, but we will definitely be using that. And then on the offensive side of the ball, more so just, getting some depth, filling out some spots. We got Bronson Rechsteiner, another low-key, underrated, short-term, but very popular player on the channel. Who else did we sign? Oh, Matt Breida. So we now have an absolute burner to complement, change of pace back to DeAndre Swift. We got some two guys that I'm personally a fan of behind TJ Hawkinson in Hakeem Butler, and we got the gigantic 6'8" Donald Parham, 6'8" with 84 speed, 81 catching, 75 catching traffic. He is pretty goddamn good. Also some respect, Nate Herbig there. Depth on the interior of the offensive line. But basically, fuck you! I let you guys kind of dictate from yesterday's video, what should we do in this draft? And that's not necessarily me saying, hey, I'm going to go with what you guys want. But I'll say, hey, shoot me some mock drafts. Let me know. One thing I can't believe I oversighted this is the draft picks we actually possess. Because we were talking about this pick number 7. Clearly need a quarterback. You avoided the quarterback spot in free agency. And I was like, well, at pick 7, right, if Derek Stingley, great corner from LSU, or Kayvon Thibodeau, edge rush from Oregon, is there at pick 7. Should we go there and then wait and grab a QB in the second round? We kept talking like that, when the reality is we have the Rams' first-round pick as well. It's not a premier pick by any means, but from that Matt Stafford trade, we actually have picks 7 and 12. And I'm absolutely not going to be kind of in the market of trading these picks, packaging these picks to move up. Quarterbacks tend to, I'll be honest with you, and I agree with this, and this has been another thing that's been suggested in the comments, is that the quarterback that's most realistic from this draft class that fits my Madden play style is most likely QB1, and that's Spencer Rattler. So I'm all on board by drafting Spencer Rattler, and I think there's a very, very good chance he would be there, say, at pick 12. So hopefully at pick 7, I'm looking at guys here that I would really, really jump on rather than grabbing QB with that first round pick. Because you're always going to be playing far between pick 7 and 12. That's a top quarterback. Even if we have our choice of all the QBs at pick 7, then 1 or 2 of them could go. And I'll say right now, if I'm ranking the quarterbacks that I personally want, I think Rattler is... I'll go with that because so many people in the comments wanted Rattler, but I'm also very intrigued by someone like Malik Willis, who absolutely would be there with that second first-round pick, maybe even that second-round pick. Desmond Ridder, I'd be down with that one as well. I'll be honest with you, I'd even take Sam Howell because he's pretty much baby Baker Mayfield. But we got to see. We're not trading up. That's 100% for sure, and I will take the opinions of you guys, but especially for that pick 7. That if one of those premier defensive players are there, be it a Thibodeau, be it a Stingley, we'll jump on them. If not, probably just get the quarterback we want, and then the difference between 7 and 12 to get that next best player to help improve the team. At least you have the peace of mind of getting the quarterback that you want. So let's see here. Let's get the draft ready, and we'll sim right up to pick 7. I have a feeling, though, that Stingley and Thibodeau both will be gone. But I don't know. I've seen some crazier things. So let's see. Pick number 1, the Carolina Panthers are on the clock, and with the first overall pick, they select, oh my God, DeMarvin Leal, D-tackle from Texas A&M. Was definitely on our draft boards. Talked about it would be an interesting fit to kick him into defensive end, but with the signing of Mo Hurst in free agency and the breakout of Levi Onwuzurike, it just doesn't make sense to go after him. So pick 2, the Jacksonville Jaguars. This has got to be Thibodeau. And it's Derek Stingley. Pick 3, the Jets get Kaiir Elam. Pick 4, there's no way they're going to get Thibodeau. And what? Okay, there's your Melvin Ingram replacement. 80 overall. Pick 5, Houston Texans get Kyle Hamilton at safety. Pick 6, Minnesota Vikings select Evan Neal at tackle. So, literally, the blue chip players have gone off the board. Every single one of the blue chip players that I would have even, considered drafting over a quarterback are off the board. Looking at the rest of the guys that are at least just projected for the first round. Again, I did not create these classes. I have no idea what the ratings are. But in terms of, Olave and Mechie, sound very interesting to me. You have another edge rusher here, Zach Harrison, but that's not a great rating. Some linemen that are intriguing. Christian Harris, middle linebacker, sure. Noah Daniels, I'll be honest with you, I'm not overly familiar with Noah Daniels right now. Ahmad Gardner's actually really solid, but of course he didn't really get a great grade there. Drake Jackson's nice. I'd say right now Drake Jackson is probably him or Karlaftis. Probably the next two guys I would consider if inevitably we do pick our pick of quarterback here at 7. Adam Anderson, Garrett, some good wide receivers. We don't really need wide receivers. Here's my big board, by the way. I figured why not actually just make a big board. That is what I'm looking for. QB1, interior lineman 2. I need a right guard. I have wide receiver 5 or 6. I want to prioritize speed. Corner 4 or 5. More so, give me some guy with upside that could potentially start. Edge 3, nose tackle 3, inside linebacker 4, and tight end 4 blocking. I can, if I want to, I have enough picks to get all of those spots, try to fill all of those voids on my roster except one, so we can kind of give a little bit of flexibility there for when it comes to, BPA. We might not be able to get all these, but I am going to try and get as many of these as possible. So, we are here at pick 7. Long way of saying we have our pick at QB, and you guys have wanted me to grab the very talented, very hot and cold quarterback that very much is the epitome of my Madden playstyle. It's a match made in heaven. Spencer Rattler from Oklahoma. Oh, he's 70 and a normal. I need to add whoever made these draft class. Normal? Number 42 in true value, getting him at pick 7. We got 94 throw power, 90 deep accuracy, 70 mid, 70 throw under pressure, throw in the run, big sack, good athleticism, 82 speed, 87 acceleration. Actually, generally the stats look pretty good outside of that medium accuracy. Normal dev, though. Ooh. Stings, burns, sure, everything like that, Questionable night out, and the next day it kind of stings and burns when you're going to the bathroom. But there's a positive spin on this, is that the appeal of Jared Goff, for example, is that we had a chance to, he's starting with the normal dev trait, okay rating, pretty good stats. So let's tool him, let's mold him, let's build him into a franchise quarterback. And while we held a kind of premier pick here with number 7 in the first round, getting someone like Spencer Rattler who has all the stats, we're going to not only have to develop him just from a base overall standpoint, he's a rookie, high ceiling, but we're going to have to work on that dev trait. So I think there is something interesting about this pick, him being kind of underrated, the rating and the dev trait not being great, is that if he's going to be our starting quarterback, not only is he going to be responsible rebuilding this Detroit Lions team, but we're also going to have to rebuild him and try to take his dev traits to the next level, take his stats to the next level, versus getting a guy that, like I said, like a Trevor Lawrence or Joe Burrow or any of these guys that are coming in with that superstar dev trait that's pretty much, hey, close your eyes and sim. They're going to be very good eventually. We're going to have some work to do with Spencer Rattler. I think that could be a blessing in disguise. All right, let's get through these picks here and at least get through the first round. So we have the Jets, the Eagles twice, and the Giants before we're on the board again. There's no real point me kind of breaking down the players that are left, the guys that I want. I would say right now Drake Jackson is probably the guy. It's probably Karlaftis is most likely not a stand-up outside guy. So I would say Drake Jackson right now is our new number 1 target. When in doubt, though, I could just say screw it and pull the trigger and grab the Canadian John Mechie just to be, just be a little biased. And just because the board's not really falling the way we want. So hopefully Drake Jackson can slip through 4 more picks. Let's see. Pick 8, the Jets select Nick Bonito from Oklahoma. He's pretty damn good. Philadelphia, pick 9, get Charles Cross, the tackle from Mississippi State. At pick 10, they grab Trent McDuffie, the slot corner from Washington. And at pick 11, This could be Drake Jackson, actually. We could get him stolen right from under our feet. Hey, we didn't! They go Jackson Kirkland, the tackle from Washington. So here at pick 12, I mean, just straight up looking at the BPA. Let's look at the guys that we've scouted. Guys with first-round grades. Guys that we've sent our scouts out for. There's no steals in this draft class. There's no guy that's in the 4th round that is a first rounder. You're not getting that luxury that you get with Madden-generated draft classes. So, you know, looking at guys that are first rounders, Cade Mays is very interesting because we desperately do need a right guard, but that is someone that I'm hoping, because he's late second rounder, we'll be able to get him in the early second round with our first second round pick. So that's kind of where I'm thinking there. Outside of that, so that's our second biggest need. I would say like our 3 biggest needs was quarterback, which we got, interior guard, so a right guard, which we can grab in the second round, and then getting an edge rusher, because very expensive edge rushers, not a whole lot of upside between what are their names? Why am I absolutely brain farting right now? We have Aquara, who's on like a $7 million cap hit, has not gone up dev trade, and Trey Flowers has actually already regressed, even though he picked it up. So I do think the future of edge rusher is where we should be going here. So without further ado, I feel like, I mean, Adam Anderson here is a mid-first round talent, 6'5", 230, also kind of fits the scheme a little bit. Drake Jackson, mid-first round talent. I think I'm a little bit more optimistic about Drake Jackson. He's a beast at USC. I think he's going to be probably the second best edge rusher from this class after Kayvon Thibodeau. So we are going to select Drake Jackson to come and be our edge rusher 3 in the first round. 74 hidden dev trait, number 18 in true value, getting him at 12. Speed rusher, only 1 point off a power rusher, which is a scheme fit, so that ain't no problem. 80 tackle, 84 hit power, 84 speed, 87 acceleration, 83 block shed, 85 strength, 80 power move. This is a really, really good football player here. A little bit worried about the cover. I mean, zone coverage is not important when you're in a 3-4. You know, you're not having these guys drop back into coverage, but you still would like him to be like, we can get that in the 50s, high 40s, low 50s, somewhere in that range. So you're just not a complete liability on the 1 or 2 reps a game that you may have to drop back into coverage. That is really the only thing I'd be worried about, but still very good. I'm glad that we didn't go 0 for 2 in the first round for a dev trade with our first round picks. All right, so just watching, because that next pick is our last premier pick. John Mechie has gone with the final pick in the first round to the Green Bay Packers, which is a little annoying because he absolutely, you know, it would have gave us at least a decision to make between Cade Mays and him, because, you know, in terms of my targets, because, you know, Canadian bias, at least that temptation is no longer on the board. So here we go, man. We are up now at pick 7 in the second round, and the guard of our dreams is still there. I mean, there's still some nice players on the board. Brenton Cox, George Pickens. I think George Pickens actually is really, really good, even though he has a little bit of OBJ to him. I mean, the speed there actually a little concerning, but he's an absolute beast. But for us, and knowing that we desperately need a starter at guard, it just makes sense to maybe even, I don't even think it's a slight reach. There's talent is there. That is a great pick for top 10 within the second round, still getting a late first round talent. So we're going to select Cade Mays from Tennessee, who is going to be a rookie starter on our O-line. 72 normal, number 30 in true value, getting him at 39. He is already a scheme fit with helps. 97 strength, absolute hoss. Absolute hoss. The rest of the stats aren't bad. 80 impact blocking, 78 run, 78 pass. So he's a well-rounded guard that fits our scheme, and he's going to be a day 1 starter. So we had to wait a minute to pick. A long time. We do still have a lot of picks day 3. But our first pick after the second round, way down here in the 5th round. So we're still looking. We have our QB. We have our edge rusher. We have our interior lineman. So now we're kind of looking for just BPA, right? We wide receiver, corner, nose tackle, inside linebacker, tight end 4. So looking at the guys that are available here, looking more so let's start on the back end. Need a corner. Not a lot of great scouting here. Jermaine Waller doesn't look too shabby. Late 5th rounder, 6'2", good length, 4.5 speed, A+ catching. I always like corners with high catching. I find that those guys always play really, really well. So, I mean, that, 6th rounder, maybe we can wait around there. Looking for an interior linebacker, just, Mike Rose could make sense. There's some value there. You can kick him inside. I don't have any scouting on actually any of the middle linebackers that are still left. So that's a little less than ideal. Looking for a nose tackle, potentially. It's not there. That does not exist at this stage. Looking for, really, wide receiver then. Speed or a blocking tight end. So looking at the tight ends here, we have Jake Ferguson, Wisconsin. That's a blocker. More so receivers that are still available. Let's not beat around the bush, man. We need speed, and you get speed in Jahan Dotson. I think that 4.52 is absolutely disrespectful. I think he's actually closer to like, low 4.3s. Maybe the speed's gonna be better than expected, but we're gonna get Jahan Dotson here from Penn State, the route runner, A spec, A mid, and he is 68 with a hidden dev trait, number 88 in true value, getting him at 135. So 6th round, Waller's still there, scout at corner. Might as well just grab him. We need a little bit more corner depth, and we have the scouting report that makes us feel kind of comfortable making that selection. 6'6", normal dev, number 154 in true value, getting him at 167. So that was a solid pick. In fact, that 6'2", we got 93 acceleration, 89 speed, 85 agility. He's more of an athlete. 90 catching? 90 catching. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And just to kind of retract what I said about Dotson, it's not going to be fun if I modify all the picks. And I'm going to modify his speed, but I will downgrade some of the other stats to make sure Jahan Dotson stays at a 68. He's not going to get an overall boost. I'm just going to more so accurately fix the stats. And I'm also going to be entirely hypocritical because probably a corner shouldn't have 90 catching, but we're going to keep him at 90 catching because it's my series. So if we're trying to go off our needs, I still need a nose tackle, a linebacker, or a tight end 4. Someone more in line with blocking. Looking at the tight ends, not a lot of guys here that are blocking. The Hendershot from Indiana probably should be draftable. He should be nice, had some off the field. Other than that, though, it's Keymore Gamble. Did he transfer from Florida? I didn't think he did. Either way, we have a fullback here, Jeremiah Hall from Oklahoma. Stats look very good. Early 2nd rounder, could be incredibly OP, but I'm more so because we do got Bronson Rechsteiner. One of these two guys, just move him to fullback, or from fullback to tight end. They'll be able to double up. Just get the best football player available. So we're going to grab Jeremiah Hall here, 72 normal fullback, 33 in true value at 219, 80 lead blocking. We got 80 speed, 86 acceleration, 80 strength. Yeah. I mean, at least he can block a little bit. Gonna be better than, he's better block. If we move him to tight end, he's gonna be a better blocking tight end than any of those tight ends that were still available. And with our final pick, 30 in the 7th round, there's nothing. There's not one linebacker that looks, even from Nate Landman maybe has the combine grade. There's not one guy though that's kind of ticking off the boxes of that's what we need right now at linebacker. Unfortunately, that's kind of the spot I do want to improve. So I'm just going to de facto the best player we had scouted, and it was Reed Blankenship, the Middle Tennessee State strong safety. I mean, Will Harris, depth strong safety right now. He's in a contract year. So, I mean, this kind of seems like a cheap replacement, future-proofing at that position. So I'm going to make him our final pick of the 2022 draft. And he's 66 normal. Good value pick, 144 in true value, getting him at 222, 87 speed, 90 acceleration. Pursuit and hit power is solid. More of a, box safety, if you will. But, hey, we'll take that. No lemons. No lemons in this draft class. Everybody was solid, which is pretty good. The teams within our division, what did they do in these drafts? So the Green Bay Packers got the Canadian John Mechie at wide receiver, finally getting Aaron Rodgers some help. They got Nakobe Dean, linebacker from Georgia. I mean, might as well see, we got normal depth for Mechie. Dean has a hidden dev at linebacker. They got Charlie Kolar, really nice tight end from Iowa State with that hidden dev. Silvera from Miami. Ezzy the tackle. Formerly of Buffalo, I think. Then he transferred to TCU. 66 strong safety. Kendrick Van Zant. And they got Darren Bland from Fresno State. That's not a bad draft. No lemons. No real lemons there. So we also want to take a little peek here at the... Who else is in this division? It's very early in the morning when I'm recording this. But Lions, Packers, Bears. What did the Bears do? Let's see. 2nd round, they got Haskell Garrett from Ohio State, 69 normal. They got Marquise Hayes, guard from Oklahoma, 60. Well, he's actually 68 with that hidden dev trait, which is pretty good. Myron Cunningham from Arkansas, 66. TJ Carter, the safety corner, slot nickel guy. Man, all these guys are not happy to be there. John Ridgway, Illinois State. And then we need to take a look here at the Minnesota Vikings. And what have the Vikings done in their draft? Oh, God. Very good haul for the Minnesota Vikings. They got Evan Neal in the 1st round, 70. How does he not have a dev trait? Maybe I should be touching up these draft class files. Gee, Evan Neal's can't miss tackle. Okay, whatever. We got Isaac Taylor Stewart here, 72. They got Desmond Ridder at QB, so throw some competition there with dude they just got from A&M, Kellen Mond, to be the successful heir for Kirk Cousins. He has the hidden dev trait, which is juicy. A 68 hidden dev QB in the 3rd round is good value. Zion Johnson, another hidden dev trait lineman. They got Smoke Monday at safety, Kyrie McDonald, and Tariq Castro Fields, speedster, 94 acceleration there out of Penn State. So everyone, at least no one had a bad draft. So we're going to have to leave off there today just because when I loaded up year 2, I don't have the 17-game schedule that we had in year 1. That's something that I do think is different and I'd like to offer in this mod. So I'm going to actually get to see if I can get in touch with the guys that are responsible for the mod, if they could just, modify this franchise file to give us a 17-game regular season. So I'm not going to sim. I don't want to go any further than this just in case it does bug up or anything like that. So we are now out of the offseason. Offseason has been completed. And I think the biggest question coming out from this offseason is, what do we do with the quarterback spot? We have our guy that we think is going to be our franchise QB in Spencer Rattler. Do we go like the traditional Jared Goff's the starter and then we'll ease Spencer Rattler in? Or because it's Madden, we just say, screw it, Spencer Rattler's our starting quarterback. We saw enough of Jared Goff last year to know that he's not going to be our guy. And the longer Jared Goff remains QB1 on this Detroit Lions team, is the longer it's going to take Spencer Rattler to get the XP to kind of complete his transformation from a 72 normal dev quarterback into the potential superstar that he most likely can and potentially will be. So definitely want to hear your feedback on that one. And I'm excited. I think we had a great offseason. We got some big time additions. We're going to get someone like Drake Jackson kind of buried on the depth chart right now, the base depth chart beyond Acquire and Flowers. I'm not going to be outrageous and be like, let's give the 74 rookie snaps yet, because Acquire and Flowers are okay to solid, but we will get him on the field at nickel and dime, have him be on that defensive line with Hurst and Onwuzurike. Slot position, this, I would say probably the one player that, I'm not going to say messes things up, but it's Preston Williams, because we have Preston Williams there. We didn't pay a lot of money. We got him a little bit later into free agency, but he should be getting reps, but he's going to kind of screw up the whole, do we get Cephas some snaps to get a breakout? St. Brown went over 1,000 yards as a rookie. He has to get his. So I feel like Cephas might be the odd man out. Obviously, Dotson was drafted more so long-term expectations. He cannot necessarily contribute this year, but maybe a couple years down the line, just have that speed as an option on our depth chart. But I don't know, man. Cephas kind of looking like because, you got Perriman outside. I'm thinking Williams on the outside as well. 2 possession guys, a little bit more speed with Perriman, a little bit more possession with Preston Williams, jump ball ability, if you will. And then that means St. Brown's got to go in the slot. And like I said, I don't know, man. It's a tough spot for Cephas. We'll just have to wait and see, man. Hopefully we get a good feel, good vibe of the offense, can figure out and let the dust settle and everything kind of fall into place, at least for the depth chart on the offensive side of the ball. But that'll do it for me today, guys. Thank you for watching. Let me know what we should do with the QB. Should we go with Goff? Should we just go right away with Spencer Rattler? Let me know in the comment section below. As always, first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Smash the like button if you enjoyed. Until next time, it's C4 saying peace out.